All right. Hello. My name is Leoncio Montemayor. I'm a project manager at Solarplaza, and today I'm joined by Bernhard Schuetz, head product group service at SMA. Hi, Bernhard. How are you?
Hi, Leoncio. I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Thank you, and thanks for taking the time for being with us today.
Thanks for having me and giving this platform.
Yeah, our pleasure. So today we're gonna do as we call it, a snapshot interview into digital tools for remote operations. We're doing this in preparation for our virtual event, Solar Pulse Latam, which will happen the 8th and 9th of September on our virtual event platform. We're doing this brief snapshot as preparation for one of our live sessions, which is the Building a Resilient Industry, where Bernhard will be able to take part in the live discussion. So before moving into the interview, I just like to ask the viewers to leave your comments and questions beforehand, so that we can all be better prepared and we can have a more active voice in building out this specific session. So Bernhard, can you tell us, first of all, a little bit about yourself, your role at SMA, and at the same time, how's the presence of SMA in the Latin American region?
Yes, of course. Thank you again. Hello to everybody listening to this channel. We are very happy to be always with Solarplaza during the years now. Maybe we have met even personally in the last events, but my role is, I've been working now over 3 years with SMA. I'm heading the large-scale service business, the BU. My major task here is bring my experience that I have gathered during 20 years of service life into the PV industry, PV and storage recently, actually. And SMA is a global company, as many people know, but especially the focus in the last years have been shifting from the major market in Europe and Australia, North America, also down to Latin America now. In Latin America, we are present with 2 own destinations, one in Mexico, one in Chile, but we are serving markets in Brazil, in Honduras, in Argentina via service providers, and also we are entering in Uruguay. So we get the requests from customers, from EPCs that are building plant there and asking us, are you able to provide services from simple spare parts supply to full-fledged O&M in these regions? And we are positive about that. So we are looking very much forward to expand with the renewable energy down in South America.
Thanks, Bernhard. All right. Well, that makes sense, and well, I think we're living currently in a very interesting situation now. Of course, in the energy field as a whole, we see a push towards digitalization, and at the same time, the current global pandemic is forcing us to look things in different ways, no, including the service agreements. So I would like to ask you a little bit about that. So I know that SMA has been offering remote capabilities. I mean, as you said, you work in multiple countries or around Latin America. I'm just wondering which operational service efficiencies can be achieved for solar plants through the remote capabilities that you guys can offer.
Yeah. So just to finish the first step, we are present in 130 countries in this world.
130.
We have a big service provider network.
Wow.
So if you go on the SMA webpage, you're going to find all our service distributions. But one big step that we are working on since years is actually going digital with service and getting away from the necessity to travel because of small repairs or so. And we have different initiatives there. One of the first one is that we want to enhance our remote capabilities. That is one, and it has a big impact on how we can use our resources now, just not because of Corona, but in 2018 we presented on Intersolar already the Google classes now, so people can get backup support and can really work themselves out of problems now. So if you think about the whole chain, the whole value chain of going to site for an engineer, you have the travel time, you have sometimes missing information, you have remote areas where you're not able to communicate. So emails are going back and forth until you really get to the source of the problem. the impact you have by doing remote service is really measurable, not just for commissioning, but throughout the life cycle of the plant. So we are calculating that normally an engineer who has to travel in a traditional way maybe works 4 to 6 hours on an inverter, but he has to travel and back travel and reporting that takes up to 3 days. And that's not very efficient to use a trained resource for 3 days for work that can be done in 6 hours. No? And so if you then enter in other complications, travel time, travel connections not available, or visa, work permits and stuff like that, you easily get into how complicated it can be to respond fast to an emergency of the customer. And I think that's getting more and more critical, that you can be very responsive to the customer needs.
Yeah. Okay, that's fantastic. Do you have a sort of can you quantify this number?
Yeah. I mean, on the example I stated, if you have a breakdown in a remote country and somebody has to take a plane to travel there, so you're using about 3 days of travel time where you have bind up that resource, and he actually has efficient working time of 6 hours. So that's 72 hours to 6 hours. That's the impact. If we could do that service remotely, that engineer could help 5 other customers in the same time while he's attending one customer. So the impact is more than 500% in this case, So you get the big range.
Wow.
But in a day-to-day life, this is just an extreme example.
Yeah.
You still have to repair it, the thing on site, and customers are maybe not able to do that. So it's not just being digital, it's also having the customer performing work himself, empower the customer, and then support him from remote on that work. No? So, and then we expect about an impact of 30 to 40%.
Okay.
The efficiency of service.
Okay, that's quite significant. And how has the current global pandemic sort of accelerated this sort of a movement with your customers? Have you seen like a noticeable bump in this type of services?
Yes, we have. Firstly, we of course have warranty obligations and performance obligations that we need to attend to, otherwise we are liable for the damage. So that was our first concern, that we fulfill our contracts. And the second one, we really see a wave of customers asking us, can we do it remotely? Can you train us so we can do it ourselves and we just support from backup? And we have this customer empowerment, this customer enablement, what we call self-solve. We have a complete training seat now for the customers to do level 1 corrective maintenance themselves. And with our remote support, they are even able to do that under warranty without voiding the warranty, which was not possible in the past. So we see a big demand for service responsiveness and remote capabilities, yes.
Okay.
Globally. So it has to do, of course, with the pandemic. You're not allowed to fly. You're not allowed to go back and forth with the customer. Customer can't come to training. So there's a stop on meeting people and doing work hands-on.
Okay, I see. I mean, I'm also just quite curious on this, on what you said that a few years ago you presented the AR solution, no, augmented reality with the Google Lens. How is this going? I'm just quite curious on this innovative tech.
Yeah, it's now completely integrated in our training program. So customers that did the training are authorized to use this app, and they will get an app that runs on any smart device that they can help themselves. It has the complete information of maintenance there. It shows small movies, how to change the part. It makes the customer technician really independent from an SMA technician. And this is for what we consider level 1, which includes up to 300 parts on the inverter. He can now, after authorization, remote authorization and diagnostic from SMA, he's now allowed to change that part if it's identified by himself. Yeah. And he just gives us the feedback, the repair is done, we connect remote to the inverter, check that everything runs okay, and the ticket is closed. And under warranty, he gets, of course, a free replacement for the parts he used.
Wow, okay, that sounds like a great solution for your customers. And how does data, what's the role of data in this whole ecosystem?
Okay, data is the starting point. Without data, we can't remotely access the inverter, of course. We need a VPN. We have a secure line normally installed, or we offer that to the customer to install it. And if we have the data from the inverter, we can pinpoint the error. Not that the customer starts changing one part after each other until trial and error he has found what's wrong. That's not our intention. No? And that would void the warranty. So we really want to have an efficient backup service with an expert level talking to the customer technician and guides him through the repair. So we do it efficiently, we do it safely, and we don't cause much more damage on the equipment. And normally those repairs are done between 2 and 4 hours. So now imagine the customer can now help himself the same day the error occurs, 4 hours later the thing is up and running without having to wait for a technician to come, to go to site and travel back. So this is something that increases the availability by multiple percentages per year.
Yeah, I can see. And of course, I think also with the vast amounts of data, you can analyze the data. And besides doing maintenance on, let's say, broken parts, does SMA also work towards predictive maintenance, where you can detect an error before it actually occurs?
Yes, we actually have in the background algorithm running already on our installed base. Now we have the biggest installed inverter base in the world. We have over 70 gigawatts of data, of inverter data that we can analyze. And the first algorithm has shown us that we can pinpoint failures up to 4 weeks before they happen. So this would, of course, greatly help us with the logistics of spare parts or resources that you not drive today out to a plant, repair it, and you come back and the next day something else happens. No? So you could have a truck run to site and do several parts exchanges without them even failing. And you can schedule that for either off-peak hours or weekends and nights. So you have 100% production guarantee while you're taking care of the part that's going to fail in 2 weeks.
Wow. Okay. That's clear. So besides, let's say, site remoteness and having plants, at off locations, what other factors do you think might be driving digitalization, especially considering the Latin American market in this case?
Yeah. I mean, data are connected to internet. Internet connection is a viable line that we need to get those data. And that's some problems with remote areas. Maybe you have to get the satellite uplink or you have to send the data still manually by email. But what will drive digitalization in the future in this area is costs. Cost out, reducing maintenance costs, reducing truck runs, doing more work with the same resources, and forecast what's really failing. So we have a continuous quality program that looks at all the failures that happen in our fleet. But with predictive maintenance, with this data, we're going to be more sure. We not have to wait until something fails. We can see when it starts to deteriorate, and we can actually not just exchange the part at a certain time, but maybe we can use the part longer. Maybe we were too conservative and we are exchanging parts after 10 years. That's maybe good for 15 years. So that will also help drive cost down and availability up for the customer. So it goes in both directions. Now you can stop something from happening before it happens, but you also can extend the life of parts and using the equipment for what it really was designed to.
Okay, I see.
So cost, in a short way, cost will drive digitalization.
Yeah, okay. And have you, in any Latin American market, have you faced these issues of, for example, having a very remote site with maybe not a lot of internet? And how do you guys deal with this?
Yeah, and here we have a benefit that we are all over the globe. So we have in Monterrey, Mexico, we have our plant support center.
Oh, wow.
Spanish-speaking experts.
That's where I come from, actually.
Yeah, look at that. I've been working in Monterrey for 5 years. So
wow. Nice.
So we have a Spanish-speaking technical support center for all kinds of issues from customers. We have in Chile our service hub for Latin America, so we can send people from Chile in between 1 to 2 days to every site in Latin America, Honduras, whatever have you. And so it's a play of different parts that we have. It's our service infrastructure that's in place. it's our flexibility, and then the remote access to sites that give us all the pieces we need to solve the customer's problem very fast. For an example, you asked for an example, there's a plant in Chile with First Solar. It's just announced in LinkedIn. It's the first time that the PV utility size solar plant helped supporting the grid by not just providing energy, but doing voltage and current control to keep the grid alive. So this was done with SMA inverters and SMA technology and software, where we remotely got the demand from the grid provider to throttle the plant, and our software did that. So there's something we can actually check remotely when we can support the grid and optimize production. Or if you think of adding storage to your PV plant, we also can optimize that one. So we have different options here to size the services that you need for an installed project, whatever your business case might be. Would it be just power production? Would it be grid support? Or would it be any other auxiliary service? No?
Auxiliary services. Okay. And well, I'd like to go to what you mentioned on the storage part, because you mentioned that you recently added the solar plus storage. How does storage change the game for you?
I mean, until now, solar is looked at as a disturbance for the grid, because when the sun shines, the solar plant pumps energy into the grid, and when there comes a cloud, then suddenly these megawatts are gone, and the grid has a problem to balance that load. With storage, you take the insecurity of the equation. With a storage adder, you can peak shave, you can store the energy that's too much in the battery and release it later when you may have better pricing even. So the whole business model changes. Okay, it's an investment that needs to be done, but it normally pays off within 3 to 4 years. And then you can use a PV plant like a traditional power plant on the market. You can inject energy, you can take off energy, you can stabilize frequency. It multiplies the option for a business case compared to just a PV plant.
Yeah. Do you think that in the future all PV plants will come coupled with storage as the cost of storage drops dramatically?
It would be ideally to have not just PV coupled, but the hybrid plant before you go to the grid, because then you can really control the power and can inject when it's best pricing for you. So you can store the energy from the late afternoon and put it in the night, for example.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I mean, the industry has been shaken now in the last few years. What are your expectations for the coming 2-3 years as an industry as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, the PV industry is 20-25 years in the making. Now we see a maturation of the markets, and customers' expectations are going up. Margin getting thinner, performance guarantees are going up. So customers will not anymore tolerate mishaps in service. So service quality and responsiveness need to be at the industrial level. There's no way out. If you don't improve your service, you're going to be soon out of the market as a service provider. And then secondly, big players are entering the market now. Big global players, Shell, BP, all these guys are changing from gas and oil into PV and energy. So those customers want to be taken care of. They want to feel that they are your real partner and that you have some skin in the game. So they're going to push for availability guarantees, performance guarantees, and you need to be behind that to make a business in the future. So part of this seriousness, let's say, or matureness of the market will be that digital will help establish those performance guarantees and those things.
I see, because indeed, like you say, like these oil and gas majors have been working with these performance guarantees, for their fossil-based assets
for under 50 years, no?
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. And actually, in my as a curious fact, my first job, I was a performance engineer at General Electric, and we were actually doing this. So I can imagine like that sort of a mindset is now being transported to sort of the solar field, no? And it is important, to maintain that high level of quality in service in the service agreements.
Yeah, it's asking for professionalism, no? For professionalism, and without data you can't be professional. You're not really knowing what you're doing, and it's hard to prove to your customer how is your service performance without data.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think data really is, and there was a technical glitch, but we're back on it again. Just to round up this interview, what is something that you're looking forward to this SolarPulse LATAM event?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to talk to our audience in Latin America after I've been there on several events with Solarplaza in the last 2 years. What I would encourage you is a very interactive meeting. Ask your questions, get in contact with our people. We're going to have the SMA team in the background, so you can ask any questions and our people will follow up on that one. And I'm really looking forward to developing together with you solar and solar storage in Latin America. We think it is the continent with the best condition. You have the space, you have the sun, you have a lot of trained people there. So we are really looking forward to developing PV and storage in Latin America. Thanks
a lot, Bernhard, for your time today. It has been a pleasure. I hope to see you virtually very soon. Thanks for everything. Adiós. Nos vemos pronto.
Adiós. Hasta luego.
Hasta luego.